Hi everyone, this is Robin Bates. Today's topic in DBT is allowing the mind, which is another way of saying it is observing our thoughts, which is extremely important. But before we get started on our topic, I'm going to do a quick breathing exercise with you. There are so many hundreds of breathing exercises, so I'm going to try and teach you as many as I know. They're great to use on a daily basis, in the morning, before class, and between classes in the evening. They're a great way to reset your body and get you in the moment. So this one is very, very simple. It's 3 steps. Step 1, you're going to sit in an alert but relaxed position where your feet are flat on the floor and you're sitting kind of straight in your chair and your shoulders are straight and your arms are relaxed and your legs are relaxed, where you can just sort of breathe comfortably. Okay? Step number 2, you're going to take in a deep cleansing breath. And then step number 3, you're going to start in your normal breathing. So you're going to inhale, and then you're going to exhale, and you're going to count 1. And then you're going to inhale again, just the way you normally do. Exhale, and you're going to count 1 again. And you're going to keep doing this. And you're going to notice that there's a part of you that's going to want to continue counting 2 and 3 and 4, but you're not going to do that. You're going to stay counting to 1 with each breath. And it's an exercise to kind of bring you right into the moment. Because in each moment, you really are just counting 1 again. Because the last moment has passed. The future moment hasn't arrived yet. So counting 1 with each breath keeps you right focused in the moment right now. And it makes it easier to let go of the things that we're holding on to related to the past and the future. Okay? So let's do it together. I'm going to have you do it for 30 seconds, real short. But normally you could do it for a minute or 2 if you can. Now notice your thoughts might start to drift in a different direction. You may even forget you're doing the exercise. If you notice that that's happening, just gently bring yourself back and continue on with the exercise. Okay? So, step 1, go ahead and get in your position. Step 2, take a deep cleansing breath. And step 3, begin counting each breath with a 1. Do 10 more seconds. All right, very good. Now release the activity. And I just want you to know that like twice I counted to 2 and forgot. And I had to bring myself back and go, no, you're counting to 1. And it really did bring me into the moment. So notice how you're feeling right now, just with that tiny little exercise. And remember, that's a great one to do at night if you're having anxiety and you're trying to sort of let, maybe you're holding on to some ideas, and you're really latching on and they're giving you some feelings. Or throughout the day, just to reset. It's a great one. All right, so on to the topic, allowing the mind. So this is about our thoughts. Our thoughts are just things. However, we do give them a lot of power. We tend to start believing them as facts. And then they give us a lot of feelings. And then we hold on to them, right? Which then gives us even more feelings. And then a lot of times we try and push them away and suppress them, right? So we do a lot of trying to manipulate our thoughts. When a lot of times, just allowing the thought to come through like a wave and then pass out can actually be the most effective way of managing them, right? So this involves accepting thoughts for what they are, right? They are just things. That doesn't necessarily mean that they are fact, right? it means that we can stop trying to push them away or stop them from happening, right? Or holding on to them like they are a fact. We're just going to let them pass through, okay? So how do we do this? First, we just observe. Observe them as waves. They're coming and going. We don't try to suppress. We don't try to judge them. We just see them from what they are. We acknowledge them, that they are there. We don't try to keep them around. We don't try to analyze them. We practice willingness, like I talked about last week. So it's just a willingness to focus on what we're thinking about. And we step back and we observe, okay? At any given moment during the day, you could step back and just observe, what am I thinking about right now, right? And see it almost as a separate, like an audience. And you're just seeing, or maybe you're at the bank of a river, and you're just watching the thoughts drift by, right? You're not necessarily jumping in there with them. You're just watching them drift by. And you adopt a curious mind. Where do my thoughts come from? Notice that every thought that comes also goes. And you observe, but you don't evaluate. You let go of all your judgment. You just let them come in and you out and come out. And remember that they are not who you are. You don't necessarily act on your thoughts, right? You just remember times when you've had different thoughts. And you remind yourself that crisis thinking is coming from the emotion mind, right? And you remember how you think when you're not feeling such intense feelings and pain, okay? You don't block or suppress them. It's kind of the same thing as trying to block or suppress waves in the ocean. If you're standing, let's say you're standing in the ocean at waist height, and you're trying to stop the waves from coming. How successful are you really going to be? It's just going to make you tired, right? And probably frustrated. Rather than doing that, you're just letting them pass through, right? Or pass by. You can even try loving them. Okay, imagine that. So here's some practices that you can do with your thoughts. Some of these are really fun. I got them out of this book, DBT Skills in Schools. So number one, you can say a thought or a belief out loud using a non-judgmental tone over and over again. You can say it really fast so that it makes no sense, or you can slow it way down, syllable at a time, or in a different voice from yours, like be a high pitch or a different accent. You can say it as like it's a dialogue on a TV comedy show, like say it kind of like really funny, or you can sing it. Just sing it wholeheartedly. I love doing that. I do that all the time. And it really takes the power out of your thoughts, right? You realize that they're just things that are passing through your mind. You can play with them. Another thing you can do is practice mindfulness of your current thoughts with opposite action. So if you're having a really cringy thought that's really anxiety provoking, relax your mind and your body, right? You're not holding on to it. You're just relaxing. See what happens. Just see them as just thoughts happening in the neurons firing in your brain, right? Or imagine things you would do if you stopped believing everything you thought. Imagine that if you didn't believe anything that you thought, right? Or practice loving your thoughts as they go through your mind. A lot of times that makes your thoughts just roll on through. There's nothing to hold on to, right? You can also practice mindfulness of current thoughts by just observing. Notice thoughts as they come into your mind. As a thought comes into your mind, just say, a thought has entered my mind. And label that as a thought. There's another exercise that I heard from a friend of mine where she imagines putting the thought in a little paper boat and just sailing it off into the river. Oh, here comes another one. Imagine putting it on a paper boat and sailing it off into the river. So these are great little exercises. They're like Jedi mind tricks that you can do with yourself, especially if you're having ruminating thoughts, right? So this is a thought that doesn't seem to go away. It's irritating. It's kind of like a zzz, and maybe there's no truth to it. Maybe you're worried about what someone thinks about you, or you're going to have to say something to your parents and You think you're going to be in huge trouble. So now you're making up what's going to happen. So we call that future tripping, right? You're tripping on the future. Or maybe you're regretting something from the past and you're just running through it over and over. And it's this thought that's just bringing up a bunch of feelings. These are all things that you can practice to just let the thoughts run right through. Okay? You can step back from your mind as if you're on top of a mountain. Oh, I love this one. And your mind is just a rock down below. Gaze at your mind, watching the thoughts. What thoughts come up? So you're just gazing at them down below as rocks on the ground. Or as paper boats flowing along the river. So I would love to hear from you if you practice some of these things, what comes up for you. And I look forward to seeing all of you guys later on. Bye.